Marriage to a military officer meant stricter scrutiny. More attention. More risk. After a long silence, Qinghe Meiling lowered her head. I'm sorry. Gu Jianhong frowned slightly. You refuse? Yes. Her voice remained calm but firm. I came to the countryside to build experience. I'm not thinking about marriage right now. The answer surprised him. Most women would never reject a military officer. But Qinghe Meiling's expression remained steady. Gu Jianhong studied her carefully. Finally he nodded. I understand. Then he turned and left. Outside, the late afternoon wind blew across the fields. Not far away, Lily sat on a rock eating roasted corn again. She watched Gu Jianhong walk away with thoughtful eyes. Then she murmured quietly, "Oh, the plot just changed." Her smile slowly widened. And in the distance, Lu Chen walked across the field carrying tools. Lily's attention immediately shifted. Compared to complicated love triangles, her husband candidate was far more interesting. Chapter 16, Zhao Fenghua frames Lily. Zhao Fenghua was not someone who easily accepted defeat. After failing twice, her anger toward Lily had grown even stronger. At first, Lily was just an annoying village girl who ruined her plan. But now, Lily had become a thorn in her pride. Inside her room, Zhao Fenghua paced slowly. If rumors aren't enough, then I'll give the village something real to see. She already knew Lily had a fierce temper, and villagers were afraid of conflicts. So if Lily could be made to look violent and unreasonable, everyone would naturally turn against her. That evening, Zhao Fenghua secretly placed a small silver bracelet inside Lily's family storage shed. The bracelet belonged to her. But tomorrow, it would become stolen property. The next morning, Zhao Fenghua loudly gathered several villagers. My bracelet is missing. Her voice carried across the courtyard. Several women immediately gathered around. Where did you last see it? In my house yesterday. Zhao Fenghua lowered her voice dramatically. But someone visited yesterday. Who? Zhao Fenghua glanced toward Lily's house. I saw Lily near my yard. Gasps spread through the crowd. Lily's reputation was already strange. People respected her strength but also feared her temper. Soon a group of villagers walked toward Lily's house. Lily stood outside feeding chickens when they arrived. What's going on? Zhao Fenghua crossed her arms. My bracelet was stolen. And someone saw you near my house. Lily blinked. So, we need to search your shed. Lily stared at her for a moment. Then suddenly laughed. You came with people already. So you are sure you'll find something? Zhao Fenghua's eyes flashed slightly. But she said coldly, if you didn't steal it, you shouldn't be afraid. Lily shrugged. Search if you want. The villagers opened the shed. A moment later, one woman shouted, I found it. The silver bracelet lay inside a wooden box. The crowd erupted in whispers. Zhao Fenghua looked satisfied. So you really stole it? Lily stared at the bracelet calmly. Then looked at Zhao Fenghua again. Her expression slowly changed. Oh, so this is the plan. Chapter 17, The village turns against Lily. News spread through the village quickly. Lily stole Zhao Fenghua's bracelet. Her family always acts strange. Maybe she really is a bad girl. Villagers gathered outside Lily's house. Some curious. Some judgmental. Some simply enjoying the drama. Zhao Fenghua stood proudly in the center. You should return what you stole. Lily crossed her arms. I didn't steal it. But it was found in your shed. Because someone placed it there. Zhao Fenghua scoffed. You are blaming me now? Several villagers began whispering again. The situation quickly turned against Lily. Just as Zhao Fenghua expected. But Lily wasn't someone who endured humiliation quietly. She slowly stepped forward. Let me ask you something. What? When did you lose the bracelet? Yesterday. And you immediately guessed it was me. Zhao Fenghua hesitated for a second. But quickly answered. Because you were near my house. Lily nodded slowly. Good. Then, slap. The sound echoed across the courtyard. Lily's hand had struck Zhao Fenghua across the face. Everyone froze. Zhao Fenghua stumbled back in shock. You! Lily grabbed her collar. You planted it. Her voice was calm but cold. And you think everyone here is stupid? Zhao Fenghua struggled. You crazy woman. Lily didn't wait. Another slap. This time even harder. Villagers gasped. But before things could escalate further, a familiar voice spoke. Enough. Chapter 18, When Lu Chen steps forward. Lu Chen pushed through the crowd. His tall figure immediately changed the atmosphere. He looked at Lily. Then at Zhao Fenghua. What happened? Several villagers quickly explained. Lu Chen listened quietly. Then he looked at the bracelet. Finally he spoke calmly. If someone really stole it, why leave it in an obvious place? The crowd fell silent. The logic was simple. Too simple. Zhao Fenghua's face turned pale. Lily released her collar. Lu Chen continued. And Lily works in the fields all day. She wouldn't need a bracelet like this. Some villagers began nodding. Zhao Fenghua realized the situation was turning. You are defending her. Lu Chen answered calmly. I'm defending reason. Just then, another loud voice appeared. Reason my foot. Everyone turned. An old woman marched forward carrying a thick bamboo stick. Lily's grandmother. Her fierce reputation was famous throughout the village. She pointed the stick directly at Zhao Fenghua. You dare frame my granddaughter? Before anyone could react. Whack! The stick landed on Zhao Fenghua's shoulder. She screamed, Old woman! But the grandmother was unstoppable. Your parents didn't teach you manners. Soon Zhao Fenghua's parents rushed over. But the old woman didn't show fear at all. She swung the bamboo stick again. If your daughter frames my granddaughter again, I'll beat your whole family. The chaotic scene shocked everyone. Meanwhile Lily stood calmly beside Lu Chen. She tilted her head slightly. See, my family handles things directly. Lu Chen sighed. You really attract trouble? But strangely, a small smile appeared on his face. Chapter 19, The Secret Almost Revealed. While the village focused on the huge fight between the families, another problem quietly appeared. That evening, several villagers walked past Chain Mailing's house. From inside, they smelled something unbelievable. The rich scent of meat stew. In this poor village, meat was extremely rare. The villagers exchanged confused looks. How can she cook meat? Where did she get it? Suspicion quickly spread again. Inside the house, Chain Mailing froze. She hadn't expected anyone outside. The stew inside her pot came from supplies taken from her space. If villagers saw the ingredients, her secret might be exposed. Outside, the curious villagers began knocking. Comrade Chain, what are you cooking? Chain Mailing's heart pounded. Just as she didn't know what to do, another voice suddenly spoke from behind the crowd. Oh, so that's where the smell came from. Everyone turned. Lily stood there, holding a basket of herbs. Her eyes slowly moved toward Chain Mailing. A faint smile appeared on her lips. The female lad's heart nearly stopped. Because Lily clearly understood the situation. And one wrong sentence could destroy everything. Chapter 20, Lily saves the female lad for her own reasons. Outside Chain Mailing's house, several villagers had already gathered. The rich smell of meat stew drifted through the air, making everyone suspicious. In a poor village like this, meat was a luxury. So how could an educated youth cook such food? Comrade Chain, what are you cooking? One woman asked loudly. Chain Mailing stood inside the doorway, her heart racing. If they saw the ingredients in her pot, everything would be exposed. Her space secret would no longer remain hidden. Just when panic began rising in her chest, a voice sounded from behind the crowd. Oh, so everyone came here for food. All villagers turned. Lily walked forward carrying a basket of herbs. Her expression was calm, almost amused. Chain Mailing immediately understood something. Lily knew. And right now, her fate depended on what Lily said next. One villager pointed toward the house. We smelled meat from inside. How can she cook meat? Lily blinked. Then casually lifted the lid of her basket. Inside were several wild herbs and 2 small mountain rabbits. I gave it to her. The crowd looked confused. You? Lily shrugged. I caught rabbits in the mountain. I asked her to cook them. She tilted her head slightly. Is there a problem? The villagers looked at the rabbits. The explanation sounded reasonable. After all, Lily was known for hunting small animals in the forest. The suspicion quickly faded. Ah, so that's why. Then it's fine. Slowly, the villagers dispersed. Chain Mailing finally released the breath she had been holding. Once the yard became quiet, she looked at Lily. Why? Lily leaned against the wooden door. Because if your secret is exposed, the story ends too quickly. Chain Mailing blinked. What story? Lily smiled faintly. Your life. Then she turned and walked away, leaving Chain Mailing with mixed emotions. For the first time, The female lead realized something frightening. Lily wasn't protecting her. She was simply watching the drama continue. Chapter 21, Chao Fenghua swears revenge again. Meanwhile, Chao Fenghua sat in her room holding an ice cloth against her swollen cheek. Her anger burned like fire. She had been slapped, beaten, and humiliated in front of the entire village. And the worst part, everyone now suspected her. This isn't over. Her voice trembled with rage. Her father tried to calm her. Let it go. That girl's family is troublesome. But Chao Fenghua slammed her hand on the table. No, I'll make them regret everything. Her eyes turned cold. Especially Lily. However, Chao Fenghua didn't know something important. Someone else had already begun moving behind the scenes. Chapter 22, when Lu Chen starts acting like a husband. A few days later, Lily walked through the fields carrying a heavy sack of grain. Suddenly the sack disappeared from her shoulder. She turned. Lu Chen stood behind her holding it. You shouldn't carry this alone. Lily blinked. You're helping me? Lu Chen calmly placed the sack onto a cart. Yes. Why? He looked at her. A future husband should help sometimes. For a moment Lily froze. Then she smiled. Oh, so you accepted already? Lu Chen shook his head. I didn't say that. But. He paused slightly. You're already acting like my wife. Lily crossed her arms. That means you don't mind. Lu Chen didn't answer. But he pushed the cart toward her house. Actions sometimes spoke louder than words. Chapter 23, Gu Jianhong investigates Lily. Captain Gu Jianhong had not forgotten Lily. Something about her behavior didn't match a normal village girl. She was too calm, too observant, too fearless. So he began asking villagers about her. An old farmer scratched his head. Lily? That girl has always been strange. Another villager added. She fights better than most men. And her grandmother is terrifying. Gu Jianhong listened quietly. But the more he heard, the more curious he became. At the same time, Lu Chen sat inside the village office speaking with an old contact from the army. Even though he had retired, his connections still existed. I need information about a family. Which one? Chao Fenghua's. The officer on the phone sounded surprised. They've been causing trouble? Lu Chen's voice remained calm. They framed someone. A long pause followed. Then the officer replied, I'll look into their business dealings. Within days, small problems began appearing for Chao Fenghua's family. Business partners withdrew. Permits were delayed. Inspections suddenly appeared. At first it looked like bad luck. But soon the pressure grew heavier. Inside their house, Chao Fenghua's father looked worried. Our family is facing investigation. Chao Fenghua felt her stomach sink. For the first time, her revenge plan began collapsing. And she still didn't know that the quite retired soldier she ignored had just started the real battle. Chapter 24, Chao Fenghua discovers the truth. Chao Fenghua's family house felt unusually tense. Her father sat at the table with several documents spread in front of him. His expression was darker than ever. Another inspection notice. Chao Fenghua frowned. This is the third one this week. Her father sighed heavily. Our business partner in the county suddenly cancelled the contract. Why? She asked anxiously. They said, someone from the military asked questions about us. The moment she heard the word military, Chao Fenghua's heart skipped. A strange suspicion slowly formed in her mind. There were only two military officers connected to this village. Captain Gu Jianhong and Lu Chen. Gu Jianhong had always stayed neutral. But Lu Chen, he had publicly protected Lily. And Lily had humiliated her. Suddenly everything made sense. Chao Fenghua clenched her fists. So it's him. Her voice trembled with anger. Lu Chen is attacking our family. Her father frowned. You shouldn't have provoked someone with military connections. But Chao Fenghua's anger didn't decrease. Instead, it grew stronger. Then I'll make sure Lily suffers even more. Because in her mind, Lily was the reason Lu Chen had moved against her family. Chapter 25, The village changes its attitude. As Chao Fenghua's family problems spread through the village, people began whispering again. But this time, the topic was different. Did you hear? Chao Fenghua's family is under investigation. Yes, they're in big trouble. Soon villagers started connecting the events. After Chao Fenghua framed Lily, her family suddenly faced crisis. To many villagers, this looked suspicious. An old farmer shook his head. Lily's family isn't someone you should provoke. Another villager nodded quickly. Her grandmother alone is enough trouble. Slowly, the attitude toward Lily's family changed. Before, people kept distance out of fear. Now they also felt respect. Even when Lily walked through the village market, fewer people whispered behind her back. Some even greeted her politely. Lily noticed the change. But she simply shrugged. People's opinions had never mattered much to her. Chapter 26. The female leads complicated feelings. Chain Mailing sat beside the small river washing vegetables. Her mind was restless. Ever since Lily saved her secret that night, her thoughts had been confused. Lily clearly knew about her space. Yet she never used that information to threaten her. She refused the bribe. And she even protected her when villagers suspected the meat. Why? Chain Mailing couldn't understand. She glanced toward the field nearby. Lily stood there talking with Lu Chain. Their conversation looked relaxed. Lily even laughed. That confident, carefree attitude felt completely different from other village girls. Chain Mailing lowered her head slightly. Part of her felt grateful. But another part felt uneasy. Because Lily knew something that could destroy her entire future. And yet, Lily acted like it didn't matter at all. That girl. Chain Mailing murmured softly. What kind of person are you? For the first time since arriving in this world, the female lead felt something unusual. Not rivalry. Not friendship. But a complicated mixture of curiosity and caution. Chapter 27. The Man Who Finally Admitted It. That evening, the sunset painted the fields golden. Lily sat on a wooden fence swinging her legs lazily. Lu Chain stood nearby repairing a farming tool. After a moment he spoke. Zhao Fenghua knows. Lily raised an eyebrow. Children running around. It felt lively and joyful. Zhao Fenghua had been waiting for this moment. She loudly approached Lily in front of everyone. So you think you're strong? The crowd immediately sensed drama. Lily glanced at her calmly. What do you want now? You embarrassed me and ruined my family. Zhao Fenghua shouted. You act like you're better than everyone. Lily yawned slightly. If you came to argue, make it quick. The villagers whispered. Some expected another fight. Zhao Fenghua smirked. See, she's always violent. Just as Lily prepared to answer, a tall figure suddenly stepped forward. Lu Chain. His presence instantly quieted the crowd. He stood beside Lily. Then calmly said, She's not violent. Everyone looked confused. Lu Chain continued. She only fights when people deserve it. The villagers chuckled. Even Lily looked slightly surprised. Then Lu Chain said something even more shocking. I like her. The crowd gasped. Some villagers nearly dropped their bowls. A retired military officer confessing in public? That was unheard of. Lu Chain remained calm. I intend to marry Lily. The square erupted in whispers. Zhao Fenghua's face turned pale with rage. And Lily, for once in her life, was speechless. Chapter 31. Lily Accepts. Later that evening, the celebration slowly ended. The village became quiet again. Lily stood near the field under the moonlight. Lu Chain walked toward her. You didn't say anything earlier. Lily crossed her arms. You surprised me. You didn't like it. She looked at him for a moment. Then smiled. You skipped several steps. What steps? Proposal. Discussion. Negotiation. Lu Chain sighed. You treat marriage like business. Because it is. Lily stepped closer. But her expression softened slightly. You said you want to marry me. Yes. And you're serious? Lu Chain looked directly into her eyes. Very serious. For a moment the night became quiet. Then Lily nodded once. All right. Lu Chain blinked. All right. That means I accept. She turned away casually. You already passed my observation period. Lu Chain laughed quietly. I didn't know there was an exam. There was. Lily looked back at him. And you passed. For the first time since returning to the village, Lu Chain felt something warm in his chest. Because the stubborn girl who had been watching him for weeks had finally accepted him. And in the distance, the quiet countryside fields stretched under the moonlight, unaware that their peaceful life would soon face even bigger storms ahead. Chapter 32. Zhao Fenghua's Final Revenge Attempt. The autumn wind swept through Qinghe Village, carrying dry leaves across the dirt road. Inside the Zhao family courtyard, Zhao Fenghua sat silently beside the well. Her face was pale. Her eyes were filled with madness. Ever since Lu Chen used his connections to investigate Zhao family corruption, everything collapsed. Her father lost his position. Her family's grain storage was confiscated. The villagers no longer respected them. And worst of all, Lu Chen publicly supported Lily. Fenghua clenched her fists. Lily. Chain mailing, both of you ruined me. Her mother nervously whispered. Fenghua, stop thinking about revenge. We already suffered enough. But Fenghua suddenly stood up. Her eyes were cold. No. If I fall, they will fall with me. Her final plan? Fenghua secretly spread rumors in the village. She told several greedy villagers. Chain mailing hides strange food and supplies in the mountains. She steals from the commune. And Lily, she helps hide the crime. The villagers immediately became suspicious. Soon rumors spread across the village like wildfire. Chain mailing has secret supplies. She must be stealing. Maybe she's hiding illegal goods. The village committee decided to search the mountain area near Chain mailing's house. Fenghua's true trap. But Fenghua had another plan. She secretly followed Chain mailing into the forest. Hidden behind the trees, Fenghua watched as Chain mailing quietly opened the entrance to her space storage. Food appeared in her hands. Fresh fruit. White rice. Even meat. Fenghua's eyes widened with excitement. So it's real. Chain mailing really has a secret. She grinned. If I expose this, she'll be taken away for investigation. And Lily will be dragged down with her. But just as Fenghua prepared to run back to the village, a calm voice suddenly came from behind her. Planning something again? Fenghua froze. Slowly turning around, she saw Lily leaning against a tree, arms crossed, watching her quietly. Chapter 33, Chain mailing faces a dangerous investigation. Fenghua's face twisted. You knew? Lily shrugged. I suspected you were following her. Fenghua laughed hysterically. Good. Then you also know her secret. She pointed toward Chain mailing. That woman has supernatural powers. If the authorities find out, she'll be arrested. Lily's eyes narrowed slightly. Of course she knew. She had known about the space ability since the beginning. But exposing Chain mailing would create chaos. And chaos would affect her peaceful married life plan. Unacceptable. Village committee arrives. At that moment, several villagers arrived with lanterns. The village leader shouted. Chain mailing. We heard reports of hidden supplies. You must cooperate with investigation. Chain mailing's face turned pale. Her hands trembled. If they discovered her secret space, her entire life would be destroyed. Fenghua smirked proudly. Go on, search. But before the villagers could approach, Lily suddenly stepped forward. Her voice was loud. You are searching the wrong place? Everyone looked at her in confusion. Lily calmly pointed toward a nearby abandoned storage shed. The hidden grain is there. A shocking discovery. The villagers rushed toward the shed. When they opened it, they gasped. Inside were sacks of stolen grain. The village leader's face darkened. Who hid this here? Lily calmly looked at Fenghua. She did. Fenghua screamed. Lies. But Lu Chen suddenly appeared with several soldiers. His voice was cold. We already investigated. Zhao family illegally hid commune supplies. Fenghua's legs collapsed. Everything was over. Chapter 34, Lily protects the female lead one last time. That night, Chain mailing quietly visited Lily's house. She stood at the door for a long time before knocking. Lily opened the door. Something wrong? Chain mailing looked at her complicatedly. You knew everything? Lily nodded. Yes. About your space. Chain mailing's heart nearly stopped. You are not afraid? Lily lazily leaned against the door frame. Why should I be? You never harmed me. And besides, she looked toward the distant mountains. If the village discovered your secret, it would create trouble for everyone. Chain mailing suddenly felt emotional. For the first time, she truly understood Lily. This girl was not her enemy, nor her friend, but someone who quietly kept balance in the village. Chain mailing bowed slightly. Thank you. Lily waved her hand casually. Just live peacefully. I'm too lazy to deal with chaos. Chapter 35, Lu Chen and Lily's wedding. Winter arrived. Snow covered Qinghe Village. The entire village gathered in front of the Lily family courtyard. Today was a huge event. The wedding of Lily and Lu Chen. Red lanterns hung everywhere. Firecrackers exploded loudly. Villagers whispered excitedly. Who would have thought? That lazy girl Lily would marry Lu Chen. And Lu Chen protects her like treasure. Inside the courtyard, Lily wore a beautiful red wedding dress. Her grandmother wiped tears happily. My granddaughter finally found a good husband. Outside, Lu Chen stood tall in a black military coat. Even after retiring from the army due to his eye injury, his presence was still powerful. Gu Jianhong stood beside him, smiling. You are lucky? Lu Chen replied calmly. I know. The wedding moment. When Lily walked out, Lu Chen's gaze softened. For the first time, the cold man looked nervous. He gently held her hand. Lily, from today onward, you are my wife. Lily smiled slightly. Yes. But remember, if you ever bully me. Lu Chen raised an eyebrow. What will you do? Lily replied calmly. I'll divorce you. The villagers burst into laughter. Lu Chen chuckled and pulled her closer. Too late. You already belong to me. Firecrackers exploded loudly. Snowflakes fell gently from the sky. And in the middle of the joyful crowd, Lily finally achieved her simple goal. A peaceful life. With the husband she chose herself. Chapter 36, the female lead finally accepts the male lead. Winter passed. Spring returned to Qinghe Village. After the investigation incident, chain mailing became much quieter. The villagers also stopped gossiping about her. But one person still visited her often. Gu Jianhong. The young officer stood outside her house again that afternoon. Chain mailing. She looked at him helplessly. You again? Gu Jianhong scratched his head. You still haven't answered my proposal. Chain mailing sighed. I already told you. My life is complicated. She touched the small pouch hidden in her sleeve, the entrance to her space. Anyone who married her might eventually learn her secret. But Gu Jianhong suddenly spoke seriously. I don't care about your secrets. I only care about you. His voice was calm but firm. For 2 years I've waited. If you still refuse, I'll leave tomorrow and never bother you again. Chain mailing froze. She had always been strong, independent, careful. But suddenly she realized something. This man had quietly stood beside her through every storm. Finally she whispered. Fine. Gu Jianhong blinked. Fine, what? Chain mailing turned away slightly, embarrassed. I'll marry you? Gu Jianhong laughed loudly. For the first time, the serious officer looked like an excited child. Chapter 37, the female lead leaves the village. A month later, another wedding was held in Qinghe Village. But this time the atmosphere was different. The bride and groom were preparing to leave. Gu Jianhong would return to the military compound in the city, and chain mailing would go with him. Before leaving, chain mailing visited Lily one last time. The two women sat quietly in the courtyard. Chain mailing smiled softly. Strange. When I first came to the village, I thought you were my enemy. Lily calmly ate sunflower seeds. You also caused me a lot of trouble. Chain mailing laughed. That's true. She stood up and looked at Lily seriously. Take care of the village. Lily waved her hand lazily. I'm not the village leader. Chain mailing smiled. No. But somehow, things always settle when you are around. After that, she left with Gu Jianhong. The jeep slowly disappeared down the dusty road. And just like that, the story of the female lead and male lead in Qinghe Village ended. Chapter 38, the village returns to peace. With chain mailing gone and Chao Fenghua's family already ruined, life in Qinghe Village finally became peaceful. No more rumors. No more conflicts. Only ordinary village life. But one couple had become the center of attention. Lily and Lu Chen. Married life. Early one morning, Lu Chen returned home carrying a basket of firewood. He opened the door and frowned. Lily, you are still sleeping? From inside the blanket, Lily's sleepy voice came out. I'm thinking about life. Lu Chen sighed. You are just lazy. But he still quietly prepared breakfast. Rice porridge, steamed buns, pickled vegetables. When Lily finally woke up, everything was ready. She lazily sat down and started eating. This married life isn't bad. Lu Chen raised an eyebrow. Only not bad. Lily nodded seriously. Yes. You cook well. Lu Chen almost laughed. Chapter 39, Lily and Lu Chen hunting in the mountains. One sunny afternoon, Lily suddenly had an idea. Lu Chen. Yes. Let's go hunting. Lu Chen looked at her strangely. You hate physical work. Lily crossed her arms. I just want fresh meat. Lu Chen chuckled. Fine. In the mountains. The mountains behind Qinghe Village were quiet and beautiful. Birds sang among the trees. Lu Chen carried his hunting rifle while Lily followed behind with a basket. After walking for a while, a rabbit suddenly jumped out. Before Lily could react back, Lu Chen fired once. The rabbit fell immediately. Lily's eyes widened. Impressive. Lu Chen smirked. Of course. But a moment later, Lily quietly whispered. Behind you. Lu Chen turned. A wild pheasant flew up. Before he could react, Lily threw a stone perfectly. The pheasant dropped instantly. Lu Chen blinked in surprise. You did that. Lily casually picked up the bird. I used to hunt with my grandmother. Lu Chen laughed. So my wife is secretly talented. Lily proudly nodded. Quite happiness. They sat on a large rock overlooking the village. The evening sun turned the mountains golden. Lu Chen suddenly said softly, Lily. Yes. Are you happy? Lily thought for a moment. Then she nodded. Yes. She had avoided the original story's tragedies, avoided unnecessary conflicts, and found the husband she personally chose. For Lily, that was enough. Final scene, peaceful future. Night fell over Qinghe Village. Warm lights glowed from the small houses. In Lily's courtyard, her grandmother sat happily watching the young couple talk. Lu Chen placed the hunting basket down. Tomorrow we'll smoke the meat. Lily stretched lazily. Good. Then she leaned slightly against Lu Chen. For once, she didn't move away. Lu Chen smiled quietly. The wind moved gently through the trees. And the once chaotic story of this village finally ended in peace. Extra 1, Lily gets pregnant. Spring arrived again in Qinghe Village. That morning Lily sat in the courtyard unusually quiet. Her grandmother looked at her suspiciously. You are not arguing with anyone today. Lily frowned slightly. I feel strange. Strange how? I feel like vomiting. Her grandmother suddenly froze. Then her eyes widened. Wait. She grabbed Lily's wrist and checked her pulse carefully. A few seconds later the old woman burst into laughter. Ha ha ha. You silly girl. You are pregnant? Lily blinked. What? At that exact moment Lu Chen walked through the gate carrying firewood. What happened? Grandmother shouted happily. You are going to be a father. Lu Chen froze completely. The firewood fell from his hands. Really? Lily was still processing the news. Lu Chen walked over slowly, staring at her stomach like it contained some mysterious treasure. Then he suddenly said seriously, You are not allowed to work anymore. Lily rolled her eyes. It's just pregnancy, not illness. But Lu Chen had already made his decision. From that day on, the entire village knew one thing. Lu Chen had become extremely protective of his wife. Extra 2, Lu Chen becomes an overprotective husband. After Lily became pregnant, Lu Chen changed completely. Before, he was calm and rational. Now he worried about everything. One morning Lily tried to carry a small water bucket. Lu Chen immediately grabbed it. No. I can carry it myself. No. It's light. No. Lily stared at him. You are annoying. Lu Chen remained calm. You are pregnant. Grandmother laughed from the side. You weren't like this when you were a soldier. Lu Chen replied seriously. Bullets are easier to deal with. But pregnant wives are unpredictable. The villagers soon noticed something else. Whenever Lily walked outside, Lu Chen followed her like a bodyguard. One neighbor joked. Commander Lu treats his wife like a national treasure. Lily sighed helplessly. But secretly, she didn't hate it. Extra 3, Chain Mailing returns with her child. 2 years later, a military jeep suddenly stopped at the entrance of Qinghe Village. Many villagers gathered curiously. When the door opened, Chain Mailing stepped out. Final ending scene. That evening the 4 adults sat together watching the sunset over the mountains. The village was peaceful. Children played in the fields. Smoke rose from kitchen chimneys. Chain Mailing looked around quietly. You know, when I first came here, everything felt like a story. Lily shrugged. Maybe it was. Lu Chen gently held Lily's hand. But now, the story had already reached its happy ending. And Qinghe Village continued its quiet life under the golden sunset.